What's the real difference here?
We watched a lesson earlier, that was more actually, the teacher called it a learning activities, and the children were posed a problem or a question, and even in Key Stage 1 they were just straight, they were literally on the carpet for no longer than 2 minutes. They were straight up, they knew what they needed to do to answer the question, and they knew the resources that they needed to go and get. They were completely independent. They were reasoning with each other, the vocabulary they were using. It was amazing to see how independent they were at such a young age.
Do you think the children were actually aware of being like that?
Yeah, they were, the language for learning that they were using, they were saying, oh, I'm reasoning now with somebody because I know my answer, I'm revising my planning, I've changed my mind,
it was natural, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just
So not just parroting the words,
no,
but giving almost an explanation of those words in everyday language.
Yeah, it was just
as they went along.
just so effortless to them.
Nothing was spoon-fed. They clearly understood the characters that they've got at this school. They clearly understood the learning intention, even if they just were free with it themselves. They understood what to do, and they were so focused that you couldn't even distract them off it. They tried to ask a little boy a question.
Yeah.
So honed in that, you know, it was really...
And the intervention from the teacher, she went over to the little boy and said, you chose to work by yourself today? And he said yes. And he was very happy to work by himself, even though the rest of the group were all collaborating together, but that was his choice. And then he explained that this wasn't the first thing that I chose to use. I've revised my decision, and because that didn't work, I've chose to go and use this piece of equipment. So that was all independent. The teacher didn't say very much at all.
No.
What key stage are we talking? What class? 1?
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah, so it was amazing.
So 3 happy women here.
Yeah.
What are you going to take back to your school? What are you going to use next week or next term? Or
I'm definitely going to use the bad learner character. I love the idea in the book and the pose and the question. It's just such a lovely opportunity for the children to apply what they've learned. And
just
use
tell me
that.
about this bad learner.
So they had Orla, who was a puppet, who was a bad learner, and she gives up, she doesn't persevere, she doesn't collaborate, and she poses a problem to them that she asked them a question. So she'd ordered some numbers from smallest to largest, but she didn't know if they were correct, and the children had to go and find out if she was right. And then at the end of the lesson or the learning activity, they come back to the carpet and they reason with each other and explain their answers. And then they record that in Orla's maths book and tell her how they achieved the answer.
Right, okay.
Yeah, it was lovely.
And what was really appealing for you for that? Why was it appealing?
Just how child-friendly, it was such a child-friendly way of developing the reasoning skills.
Right.
The children almost didn't even know the amazing reasoning that they were doing. Because it was so effortless to them. It was just teased out of them in such a lovely way.
Right, thank you.
Yeah, it's definitely embedded right across the school. You can see it is natural in the environment, and I think that's where in the nursery setting in the early years, just having those little cue cards everywhere for the children to go, I'm going to collaborate today because I can see that icon, because we do have that, it's just not used the way this school does use it, and it is really impressive to see.
We love the challenge, we always try It's a